Hello and welcome to another video. It is the end of July. Where did July go? My birthday month, farewell. I am excited for August. I have lots and lots of exciting things happening for August. I'm a little bit nervous because COVID, but I'm getting my second vaccine halfway through the month. Yes, I've got my best friend's wedding coming up. I'm going to see Six, which I have had booked and cancelled twice, so that's exciting. Generally, fun things are happening, and it is my first month of my Fictionary TBR, which I'm very, very excited about. So, what better timing than to do my July wrap-up and say goodbye to the books I read in July. There were some good books in July, like some good books, and some not so good books, but still like okay books, and then some like, yeah, you're alright, I quite liked you, but you're not quite a 5-star book. Let's see what's what. So this is indeed my super speedy July wrap-up, which means I throw books at myself, I talk kind of fast. We've been doing these for quite a while now, you know the rules. Let's throw some books. The first book I finished in July and gave 5 out of 5 stars. It's Stephanie Garber's Once Upon a Broken Heart. It is a companion novel, a side novel, another novel within the Caraval universe. It's not book 4, but it is book 4 of that world. In this book we follow Jax, who we did meet in the Caraval trilogy, and we go on a journey with him and another girl that he has kind of got caught up in some drama with. This is a new series that I am hyped about. The Caraval series means a lot to me. It brought me out of a dark time in 2016, and this book just fantastic. It's not dark times right now, but it's not like great times when COVID is a thing and there's lots of scary shit everywhere, and this book helped me a lot. I loved it very, very much. It was fantastical. It was glorious. It was everything I could have hoped, and it was 5 stars. Then I read The Switch by Beth O'Leary, which I'll be honest, disappointed me. I loved The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary, I loved it, so I thought, well, I'm gonna love this. This follows our young protagonist and her grandma who switch lives for some time. I forget how long, like 2 months? And basically one of them goes to London, one of them goes up somewhere else. I can't remember where. A Yorkshire village. So the younger of the two, whose name I've completely forgotten, oops, Lena, oh they have the same name, yes, Lena and Eileen. Lena, the granddaughter, goes up to Yorkshire and Eileen goes to London and stays in Lena's flat, and they kind of switch lives, and I honestly found this really dragged with Lena's chapters. There was nothing special about her, she didn't have much depth, whereas Eileen's chapters I found much more interesting, and like they were breaking a stereotype of older characters in books, and I enjoyed that. But I did have to switch to the audiobook because it bored me a little bit. So it got 3 stars, but it was okay. Then we've got The Beautiful Wicked Fox by Cat Cho. This is really cool. It kind of feels like an anime in your head. It follows our main character, who is Gumiho. So she's a 9-tailed fox, and she comes across this guy who accidentally finds out what she is and ends up accidentally giving him this bead thing that she has to live, and has to try and get it back basically, and some other stuff's happening at the same time with her mum and like this whole other storyline, and I just loved it. I could imagine this playing out in my brain as an anime, and it was just unlike anything I have read before. I cannot wait to read Vicious Spirits, which is the sequel. I just adored it. I thought it was fantastic and great fun, and it was fully deserving of 4 stars. It wasn't quite in the 5-star territory, but I did really love it, and I think it was really good fun, and if you're looking for something like that, I would definitely recommend it. Then we've got a right random pick that I came across in Blackwell's in Oxford in the week of my birthday, and read this pretty much over the time I was at a spa for my friend's hen do. This is The Would-Be Queen by Edward Cox, and this surprised me completely. Not that I thought it was going to be bad or anything, but like I just knew nothing. I'd never heard of it, I'd never seen it. Just appealed to me because it had a nice yellow cover. Well, it's obviously not a yellow cover, but there's yellow. And it has a bee on the front. I'm here for it. It's a fantasy crossover with contemporary. We have magical realm and we have contemporary setting, and the two cross over as we see our main protagonist get swept up in this adventure with this other girl that only the two of them seem to be able to solve. this huge, great big problem that's happening with who's actually in power of this magical land. And I just loved it. It gave me Strange the Dreamer vibes. It was great fun. It had an interesting magic system. I enjoyed the fact that the guy from Earth, or from the not magical realm, was the last librarian, and that made him sound like so cool and epic. And in actual fact, like, he was just the last librarian of his library that was getting closed down. But it's just, that's just such a cool title, The Last Librarian. So I really enjoyed this, and this was another 4 out of 5 stars. Then we have got A Sky Painted Gold by Laura Wood. I love Laura Wood's writing. This is Great Gatsby inspired, set in 1920s in Cornwall. We follow our main character who has met a new group of friends that are young and exciting and cool, and she basically joins them over the summer and has a great experience and a great fun summer with them. And we see her kind of deciding what she wants with her life. And the brilliant part of this book was the understanding that you don't have to do everything at the same pace as everyone else to be accepted into society, and that it's okay if you want to do things differently. It's just so good. It was so good. It spoke to my soul. I loved it. Laura Wood is an author by author for me now. This book was brilliant. If you're watching this and you're thinking, I've got this on my shelves, I don't know whether to read it, read it. It is a summer read. It is kind of good summer to autumn read because it takes place over the summer and then towards the end of the summer. But read it, read it, read it, read it. It was so good. It was 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it. I'm gonna pretend to throw a book at myself now. Oh, I caught it. It's Jay's Gay Agenda by Jason June. This is one I read as an audiobook on SCRIBD. It's actually my only audiobook of the month. I don't know what happened to me there, but I didn't read many audiobooks. This one had the potential for me, and I did really enjoy the audiobook and it was fun, but It follows Jay, who moves to Seattle, I think it is, and kind of starts discovering all these new parts of his life. He creates what he dubs Jay's gay, oh god, words. He creates a list called Jay's Gay Agenda, in which he is going to tick off all these different things that he wants to achieve, and basically it's the story of him trying to tick those things off on his list. Now, I was really enjoying this one, and I think it would have been a solid 4 stars if it wasn't for Jay becoming a little bit of an asshole in the middle of this book. And I know that the point is that it's like a redemption arc, but he did some stuff that was really shitty and I didn't like it, and it reminded me of something I've experienced, and I saw something I really disliked in him there, which is such a shame because I don't dislike him. I just really dislike these traits, and that did ruin the experience for me a little bit, to the point where I nearly put it down for that reason. But also I thought it was incredibly predictable. Like, I knew exactly where it was going, but it was still fun. I still really liked it. So it confuses me. It did come out as a 3-star on Corepile. I'm very torn. I both disliked and liked it. I nearly DNF'd it, but at the same time was really loving it. I don't know. A 3-star seems like a decent middle ground. Then I read Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. This is a really brilliant adult contemporary about a young woman who has graduated from her PhD. She's been studying for years and suddenly she doesn't really know what to do with her life. So she ends up going to stay in New York with a woman that she married in Vegas when she was drunk and she can't really remember it. And she wants to try and make the marriage work. So she also wants to try and figure out what to do with her life and kind of takes a break to discover that. This is a book about mental health. This is a book about taking a break. This is a book about finding out who you are. And I thought it was really good, and I felt like it was a really lovely read whilst also being a really important read, and looked at parental relationships as well as the relationship she has with her friends and found family type of thing. And I really liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Maidens by Alex Micheleads. I finished this 2 days ago and it is still in my brain. I have seen a lot of people rip this apart, which is weird because before going into it I had seen only glowing reviews and everyone had loved it. And then I finished it and looked into it a bit more and everyone was like, I hate this book, it could have done so much and it didn't. I have written a whole review on my blog that is probably linked down below, but it's booksnest.co.uk. If not, if you want to read more of my thoughts and feelings, I'll be talking about this in my vlog that you'll see tomorrow if you're watching this on release day. So I have many thoughts and I loved it. I loved it. There are flaws, but ultimately my enjoyment and my intrigue was immensely high. I enjoyed the references to the Greek mythology and the British literature. I think that a lot of the criticisms have been that there could have been more there and it felt like it was just dropped in and not explored, and I totally agree with that. I wanted more, but at the same time I was happy with this book. I can't lie, it was fun. I felt like I was having a fun time. I questioned a couple of the strange choices of male gaze moments, but there's more of that in my vlog. For my super speedy wrap up, which isn't really that speedy, is it? But for my super speedy wrap up, I gave this 5 stars. I had a fun time. I enjoyed it. And then I finished the month reading The Reader's Room by Antoine Lorraine. I literally finished this one just under the bell for the end of the month. The bell? The bar? I finished it on the last day of the month. This is a French translated mystery literary fiction following someone who works at a publisher's house who publishes a book that basically states that 4 murders are going to happen in this book and they end up happening in real life, and it's about what's happening there and trying to track down who the murderer is. So it's an interesting read, but also has some lines in it I didn't really agree with. There was a couple of, again, male gaze sexist moments in which our male character has been told that because of her appearance she will succeed basically in her career, and it's like and women are called conquests after they've been slept with, and I'm like when it's translated it's always really hard to know whether it's the translation or whether it's the fact that it's actually written like that, and I won't know because I don't speak good enough French to be able to read the original of this. And yeah, it was okay. It had potential for a 4-star when I started it because it had really good literary references and I was really enjoying that side of it, and it made me want to write my own book and be published. But then the latter half of it felt a bit disjointed to me, a little bit, perhaps a bit rushed. I think it could have been a bit longer and I would have enjoyed it more, and it did end up coming out as a 3 out of 5 stars. So that is my reading wrap up for the month of July. I think I did well. I think I did well. How many books is that? 9? 9 books. Next month I intend to utilise audiobooks a bit more with my TBR that I've got coming in for Fictionary. But I had a good fun time. I read some really good books. I hope you guys enjoyed my wrap up. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you did. Comment down below how many books you read or what you thought of the books that I've read, if you've read any, what you thought of The Maidens. I need some other people that enjoyed it because now I'm only seeing people that hated it, and I loved it. I loved it. You can also subscribe to see more of my face on your feed, and link down below as well is my Patreon where you can get extra content from me. It's a fun place to be. I can't wait for some of the stuff I've got coming up at the moment. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep smiling and stay positive.